thing where you have a drink with you. And right before we do the stories, we kind of do like a little toast, kind of like clink. Yeah. As we're about to sip our tea for the teacup. All right. So main stories. There were 2 major music drops this week, or this Friday, so the day before we release this. I want to talk 5 seconds to like the one that like the least amount of people are talking about, and then we're gonna have a whole conversation about the other one. The first one is Ariana's song. It's called Yes and I guess it's kind of supposed to be, you guys can look it up and watch the video. I think it's kind of supposed to be like her like, you guys are talking so much about me, yes and I don't care. Not gonna lie, it's kind of a bop. I am trying not to support her, but I did want to look at the video because I did want to talk about it for a hot second, because I think what's so weird about it, and I've seen a couple other people have a similar take. What is so weird about it to me is that she's saying yes, and she's like, yes, but like, you were a homewrecker. Like, this isn't like someone was like making fun of, like, for me, I'd think yes and if I'm like speaking up for something that I believe is the truth. Yes and like, I don't care. But like, you know, you broke up your marriage and then broke up another marriage and the man had a child. So it's not really it's not the same, you know? What were your thoughts?
So I looked up the lyrics because, I mean, that's what you have to do. Like, the lawyer in me is all over, like, what did you say? And I think it's really interesting that she's comparing it to healing, like how everybody's healing from somebody, like everybody's gets hurt by someone and everyone's healing from somebody. Does that give you an excuse to hurt people? Does that make it okay just because it's common that people get hurt and they have to recover from getting hurt? Or comparing it to a boy putting lipstick on, which doesn't hurt anyone really. Like, if you consider like who you wearing certain lipstick affects, pretty much just yourself. And comparing like, oh, people saying or thinking judgmental things about someone wearing lipstick, and comparing that to what she did, which is like the attitude in this song is like, oh yeah, like all these people are making judgments. Like, you can't compare that to somebody wearing lipstick and people having thoughts about that, because that doesn't hurt or affect people. But breaking up a marriage, especially when there's a child involved,
right? These two things are not very comparable, like apples and oranges, really.
Like this is like, honestly, like oranges and pineapples.
Yeah.
The amount of pride in these lyrics is insane to me. Like, there's just absolutely no remorse. But I don't think that anyone expects Ariana to be remorseful. I don't know of any fan who actually thinks much of her character.
Like, I will say, because actually, my friends and I listened to music one time, and then I want to say like "Thank You Next" came on, and I was like, change it, and I'm like, you know what, you're right, we should change it. Like, I used to be a huge Ariana fan. Now, you know, she's no like Miley Cyrus or Selena, but like I really liked her. And that just, you know, this really soured her to me, because I personally hate cheating. I think cheating is like one of the worst things you can do to somebody, and then to break up a family and then not be remorseful. I will say doesn't make it better, but it is interesting that they're still together, because, you know, a lot of times, like, once it becomes public, people break up, but they're still together. A little weird, but I mean, that's true too.
It's not been that long, and I can't see her staying with him. She really doesn't have it in her to stay with anyone, regardless of how good they might be for her, or if that were the case, which I don't think it is. It's kind of like what you get by manipulation and control is maintained by manipulation and control, which, because it was her manipulation, she's going to have a motivation in her to actually keep him. And she has him, and he's like not going to be the person that runs or gives her like any incentive, because he would have to actually manipulate as well to keep her invested and interested in kind of controlling him. So she's just going to keep going for things that basically she has this craving to control others, and if they are already controlled, it's just not going to keep her interested. So at this point, like, I think she's entertained. This is just my opinion. I think she's entertained by the drama and the way people are looking at her and looking at the situation. But when that dies down and people stop caring, like, all the incentive for her will be gone.
That is such a valid point. And I want to add to what you said. She is literally what people act like Taylor Swift is, in the sense of like just using guys here and there. And like, you know, I'm not saying that Taylor Swift hasn't dated a bunch of guys. Like, that's, you know, a whole nother conversation. But I feel like, at least from, you know, my perspective, I feel like Taylor has, at least you can tell she wanted to be with the guys. And I feel like Ariana just feels to be like she's using them. You know, like, I don't know.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, I think like it seems like giving Taylor the benefit of the doubt, I do think that there is a genuine desire for a right and healthy romantic relationship, regardless of how healthy she is or able to maintain that. That's another topic, but I think that she does actually desire that. Whereas based on the choices Ariana has made, it doesn't seem like that is her goal. It seems more like she is being led around by her emotions, not realizing that her deep desire is actually to control others.
So that is our 2 seconds on Ariana Grande. Let us know if you listened to the video what you thought about it. But the main video, the video that's on everybody's tongue,